Boxing Truth here. Just a prediction video on the upcoming fight between Gonzalez and Carlos Cuadras, as Gonzalez is going to attempt to make history for Nicaragua, becoming the first fighter to win a fourth world title in 4 weight divisions, something Alexis Arguello failed to do in his bid for a fourth world title, getting brutally stopped by Aaron Pryor. But Gonzalez is heading into this fight as a very solid favorite, and I have to agree with the odds after studying both fighters' styles and their fights. And I view Cuadras as definitely a big underdog, even a bigger underdog compared to Kell Brook's fight with Gennady Golovkin this Saturday. I agree with the odds. I think the odds have Cuadras as even a bigger underdog compared to Kell Brook against Golovkin, and it has to do with the ability of both fighters in the ring. Now, Cuadras, he's a confident guy. He's got a good personality. He's been promoting the fight well, talking shit, disrespecting Chocolatito, drinking chocolate milk in front of him, saying he's gonna make all Nicaragua cry, shit like that. But he's nowhere near the level of fighter as Gonzalez. Cuadras is a good world-class fighter, but Chocolatito is a pound-for-pound level fighter, and that's the difference. He's an A-level fighter. He's a great fighter. And Cuadras is just a world-class fighter who holds a strap and is considered among the two best 115-pounders in the world. He's made defenses. He's probably the most established champion in the division. But he's in an uphill battle against Gonzalez because Gonzalez does everything better than him. Now, Cuadras, he's not a typical Mexican fighter. He's actually pretty smart. He can box, he can come forward, he can fight different styles. But I think he will employ his boxing style for this fight, as Gonzalez is going to oblige him. He's going to come forward, he's going to be aggressive. He's an aggressive fighter. He comes to see where his opportunities are at for landing his punches and combinations. And Cuadras, I see him employing his stick and move style, where he can counter, he can establish his jab, try to frustrate Gonzalez with his movement, as he could definitely do that and maybe have some success, maybe prolong the fight. But there's just a big gap in speed, skill, athleticism, power, fluidity in the movements of both fighters. Gonzalez is just on another level. He's gonna walk Cuadras down. He's gonna overwhelm him with his conditioning, his speed, and his combinations, his versatile of punches. Gonzalez got every punch in his arsenal, and the guy can do it all. He can hook off uppercuts, combinations, 1, 2, 3. Uppercut overhand right, turns you, pivots, and lands counter rights. He's defensively responsible. He doesn't have the greatest defense in the world because he comes forward. He likes to be aggressive. But the guy, he's not easy to hit either. He blocks. He parries a lot of punches with his arms, blocks them with his arms, has a very tight guard, protects himself. He's not just reckless coming forward. The guy slips, and dips jabs, counters, will turn you, sidestep, pivot you, and he'll overwhelm you with his combinations and speed and his conditioning. And Cuadras is just not that level of a fighter compared to Gonzalez. He just doesn't have the speed. He doesn't have the power, I feel, to really threaten a Chocolatito much. He's the bigger man naturally, so he's got the size advantage, but that's pretty much about it. He don't have any advantages in power, in quickness, speed. He's just a good fighter, but not an A-level fighter like Gonzalez. And Gonzalez is he's gonna gradually, slowly but surely, just separate himself from Carlos Cuadras. Cuadras is undefeated. He's never lost. He's very confident. Doesn't know how to lose. But he's never faced this level of a fighter. Chocolatito is something special. It's just being awe when you watch him sometimes with his precision punching, his accuracy, and how he can just overwhelm you with his activity. And he's got the heart of a lion, a champion. If you hurt him, he's still dangerous. He can still come back and stop you within the same round like he did against Valoria. It's going to be another clear-cut but dominant victory for Chocolatito Gonzalez, as he will pick Carlos Cuadras apart. He'll walk him down, land his combinations, land his more flashier, harder, more cooler looking punches. As Cuadras is very wild, not the best technique sometimes, wild with his right hand. Just doesn't have the speed or the quickness to compete with Roman, who's just a much better fighter. I see Roman picking up his fourth strap right away, just jumps up to a division and takes straps, doesn't need tune-ups like Andre Ward. He's willing to fight the best right away. And Cuadras is not the best competition for Gonzalez in this weight division, even though some might regard him as the best at 115 because he's probably the most established champion in the division with the most offenses. He's not the best athlete. He's not the most dynamic. He's not offensively, or doesn't have the most firepower at 115 out there. That fighter with that type of speed and power that can compete with Roman is in you. I still see him as the best at 115 pounds, and he had a good performance his last fight. Has some shaky moments, but that's definitely the fight for Gonzalez. If everything goes well Saturday for Gonzalez, I see HBO building up that fight, introducing Inoue to the American public, and that will be Gonzalez's next big fight if the rematch with El Gallo doesn't happen. But after watching Inoue, I definitely favor Gonzalez at the moment. Well, it depends on what happens this Saturday, how it looks, but I just think Inoue's style really suits Roman Gonzalez. It will depend on how Inoue fights if they were to fight. But if he uses that style like he did in his last fight against Roman is going to look like $1 million. But I don't see the size being up much of a factor because I don't think Cuadras is as skillful. Nowhere near the type of fighter Gonzalez is. Not a bad fighter, but just not good enough to defeat Roman. Just too much advantages Roman has in this fight. He pretty much has it all, and that's why the odds have Cuadras even a bigger underdog for Roman compared to Kell Brook versus Triple G. But yeah, Roman Gonzalez is going to give Carlos Cuadras a beating. Talking all that shit, drinking chocolate milk and saying Nicaragua's going to cry. Nah, bro. Roman Gonzalez is going to continue to give Nicaragua more glory with another dominant, clear-cut win for El Chocolatito. This is Boxing Truth. I'm out.